Welcome back, YouTube and everyone else watching on any other platform. I'm sitting down with
Carrie Hill with Chill Consulting Agency.
Carrie. So I met you at the Club Paddock.
Yeah.
As you guys can see, it's amazing networking right here. I mean, there's probably a couple $100 million in just cars.
Just a little bit.
But more importantly than the cars is the people behind them.
Yeah.
I have met about 12 people today, and very down to earth, very solid, solid people. So in our conversation earlier, you talked a little bit about your CEO by design. What does that mean to you? What does CEO by design mean?
Yeah. Oh, I love that question. Thanks so much, Steve. And I just want to touch lightly on the fact that you really brought attention to the kind of people that exist at Club Paddock, and these are the kind of people that I choose to work with, that I want to surround myself with, and as you do, or you wouldn't be here either. But people that have big visions that are also executors. Those are my people. So I love Club Paddock. I just want to put that little plug out there and say thank you to the members who are here, because I find so much value in what you bring to the world. So I just want to say that to start with. So we had kind of a conversation off camera, within the last hour about CEO by design. So I had this vision. I've got all of these incredible people in my network here in Utah County and beyond. And I interviewed them on my podcast separately. And over time, I introduced them to each other, and we just got to be, a tight little network of people wanting to do good in the world. And so I said, what if we just created an event where we could put the heart and the people and the connection back into leadership? And what if we could teach people how to do that by design? If we could give them a blueprint for building a culture of kindness, of compassion, of love, of empathy, and of service from the ground up. So wherever you are in your leadership journey, there's a message for you in this CEO by Design event. And so it's really an event that has 4 speakers, and we do TEDx style, a TEDx style event, and they all kind of flow together in what they're able to present to the audience. And so it's been such a lovely experience. So that's kind of to your book, to your life, to all the people that we just talked about at Club Paddock, seeing that big vision and just stepping into it without a lot of fear. Because when you're surrounded by the right people who are like you, that energy just takes off, right? Things just happen. And so this has been a really, really fun event to put together.
So by design, meaning you want to build an ingredient, you want to build a blueprint so that people can recreate success with bringing the humanity back into business.
Absolutely.
So when you first said that to me, I was like, that's the missing link with the AI problem, because AI is a nice tool, but what's happening is it's right between every single human in business.
Yeah.
It's a really nice tool for people, but I almost feel like you're onto it, but you're bringing the people together, and then the people are hiring AI to do the work.
That's right.
So you still have the people.
That's right.
But the AI.
But the AI has kind of in my mind, and we talked a little bit about this off camera too, Steve. So I love that you're engaging this. We love, as CEOs and founders, right, the efficiencies that AI brings us. It's like, oh my gosh, I just cut my workforce in half, right, or whatever that looks like, depending on what product you're operating in. But what is happening to the people that are no longer in that position? How are we taking care of our community? How are we building systems to not just be leaders at our company, but to be leaders in our communities? And how are we taking ownership of that as new technologies come into light and into our space and people start to exit? What are we giving them to hang on to, right? How are we leaving them? How are we leading them? And how are we giving them opportunities elsewhere to grow and to learn? And so if we build that human mechanism in at the beginning, at a young founder culture, then we were always thinking of the people. Even if we're using AI, we're thinking of the people that are using AI and what that AI impacts, what the messages is that we're sending. And why not use this incredible tool to give the best, most positive, uplifting messages that we can and build those into our systems. So
the number one business lesson I've learned in my very short life is you can have anything you want if you help enough people get what they want.
Yeah.
And that's what you're doing. You're connecting people back to a fulfilling purpose in life. You're trying to get people to believe that we love each other as humans, not trying to pit each other against AI.
That's right.
You know, a lot of jobs are threatened by AI, but people need to adopt a different mindset to where it's, hey, we're still a humanity side of it.
That's right.
And we're partnering with a tool, another tool in the toolbox to be more efficient.
Well, and we always hear like we're so disconnected, AI just disconnects us more, right? So, you know, for me, Steve, I grew up in the 90s, right? So I graduated in the 90s at the tail end. I was in middle school at the tail end of the 80s, and this was never even in our peripheral. It was like we just had email, and Google was a thing, you know? And so really watching the evolution of technology over time and seeing how I had to have real conversations with people. I had to build real trust and real connection with people. And I had to do that in my work. I had to do that in my home, in my social circles. There wasn't an option. So when we remove the option of real connection, we're lazy people. Like humans are lazy by heart, right? We want to just do the easiest thing. Connecting with someone on social media, sliding into their DMs, like no big deal. Okay, great. It's the least amount of interaction that I have to do to get some sort of connection. The deeper levels of those connections, we've missed a whole generation. We've missed that. We've built platforms and empires on technology, and we've edged out that human connection over time in every aspect of our life.
Yeah.
So bringing that back, I feel an enormous responsibility to bring that human, that interaction, and that real depth back into our workspaces.
You have seen the 90s and you've seen the 2000s, and now you're bringing back the 90s connection. I only know the internet version. My generation doesn't even know what it's like to not have Google.
Right. Yeah, you have access all the time to anything that you want, right? So you can train your brain to think anything that you want to based on the algorithm, based on the thing that you're searching. It will feed you like a monster, right? So for me, this also plays into the mental health of company culture in general. Let's feed it positive interactions. Let's search for the positivity in our technology and bring that into our space. And I believe that through even just training your algorithm to bring you positive things, you naturally start to build positive things because it's contagious. And you can't not see the outcomes of a smile, of a hello, of a hug, right? So I really appreciate that you shared that, because my kids have no idea what life is like without a phone either, you know? So it's nice to have seen both worlds and try to figure out how to bring them together in this space.
I agree. A lot of people use their phone to set up meeting in person, and a lot of people use their meeting to set up a phone conversation. You know what I'm saying? And our generation we lean to the video call version of meeting nowadays.
How have you found value? Like, let me just, if I can turn the tables for just a minute, because I have my own podcast, so I'm also like the inquiry, like I want to know all the things. But for you, how has having that real connection in your life like brought you more satisfaction and kindness?
I haven't spent a lot of time on the internet consumption side. I've consumed books and then produced internet content, consumed books, you know. So it was like go from reading. That's where I got most of this.
Congratulations,
this
by the way.
Yeah, that's where I got most of the information.
That's
here.
awesome.
Like I'll reference books I read and learned the lesson from or whatever. But I'll consume a book and then I'll build a video or a lifestyle, or I'll build a leadership culture off of a book I read. So essentially I grew up in the 90s, but in
Very cool. Oh, I love that. That's very cool.
That's kind of where I'm at with it. I think there's still the human side of it that will never die, but it will diminish really fast. I feel like we might go from 100 humans to 10 humans and then never get less because they're so deeply connected. They love each other, but they're independent of the system called AI. So I do see, instead of 100 people with ChatGPT, I see 10 people super connected with access to an entire system.
Yeah.
Because AI is coming out to where you no longer have to hire a person to run ChatGPT.
Right.
It now runs as a separate,
That's right.
it essentially builds itself.
Right.
So all business management, I can imagine 100% operated on Copilot or on autopilot. And then all the human connection it'll essentially give you and I more time to connect as humans so that the system can run itself.
Yeah.
And we live however we want, essentially.
Yeah.
But there will be a ton of people that don't climb onto the wave fast enough, so they lose out on taking advantage of the freedom of doing whatever. Right?
Yeah. And I think, again, how we leverage that AI to do good in the world. You know, I was sharing with one of the members that was here earlier that I was just, I was hosting a panel for a conference by a brand called Build and Bless. And I am proud to be an ambassador of this partnership. But Build and Bless enables, it's a fintech platform for good. So it enables basically companies to come in and say, hey, instead of giving philanthropically like a massive check, could we just give you a card that was front-loaded with $50 a month? And when you see something in your community that needs to be addressed, if there's a mom who can't afford diapers, but so she puts them back in the line at Costco, you know, could you buy those for her? Could you buy water for somebody? Could you help change someone's tire? So leveraging that fintech platform for good, and as part of your transaction, you have to take a video of your experience and upload it to the platform. And now internally, as part of your one-on-one or weekly meetings, there's a video component there to talk about how kindness changed you that week. And so talking about the intersection of AI and putting the heart back into the place, right? These kinds of programs are perfect examples of how to leverage AI to rebuild that human connection externally. And I love that.
That is such a good idea. So you're essentially giving everyday humans a little bit of money to bless.
To bless. So build a human and bless a human.
Yeah. That is insane. How do people join that movement?
So it's a program for companies. So if you have a corporate philanthropy component of your company, then you can transfer that just to like, how much could we give to our team? If it's $20, give $20 to your team. If you're a small company and you can only do 10, do 10.
It's a mindset.
So
not necessarily a system.
It's a mindset, but it's also a system. Like there's a very clear transactional system that gets processed through that video, right? And they track it. They're able to track transactions as they happen. So it's a real-time kindness moment. It gets tracked in the system, and then that video goes into that pile of like incredible stories. So you can imagine, Steve, that if you are a growing company and you've got an investor that's looking to see what kind of company am I dealing with? What's the culture in the company, right? And you see nothing but incredible Build and Bless stories on your homepage, you're gonna know automatically what kind of people work here. And that inevitably is gonna make you a much more attractive company because you've built a culture that is authentic, genuine, and cares about the public around them. And so, so that's kind of the ultimate goal, is that we're showcasing kindness, but we're also actionable in what we say we believe.
That is wild.
It's really cool.
That is wild.
So you just sign up. If you're a company and you want to do this, you just go to buildandbless.com. You sign up for a demo if you want a demo, or if you just say, I love it, I'm on board, you can register for a subscription. And it's a very minimal cost to be a part of this. So it's really cool.
That is wild.
Yeah.
So if we go back to your
the CEO.
CEO by design,
Yeah.
how do I help further the vision, and how do all the viewers who are currently watching help move this to the next level? What's next?
I love that
What's
question.
next for you?
Thank you so much for thinking about that and how you can help. I love that attitude, and I just feel that, so thank you. You know, we really like to take this platform and bring it to bigger venues. You know, we'd love to bring it to a bigger venue in St. George. We'd love to take it to Idaho. Like, we'd love for this to kind of be like a national reach where we provide not just 4, but maybe 24 or 30 speakers, and we have breakout sessions and lunch and maybe golf, and there's all kinds of elements that we can build. So I would just ask for support when this event comes to a town that you're in. Please buy a ticket for it. Share it with other companies that want to integrate these kinds of principles into their leadership. And wherever you are along the way, we'd love C-suite leaders. You're at the top. The by design part is, how am I getting to the ultimate title of CEO? And how am I designing my life, my culture, my interactions with people on my journey there?
Yeah. So if you come into town, what's your ultimate clientele for the?
So I mean, ultimately it is CEOs, right? Ultimately it's upper management. So that's who we'd like to see, but we're not going to deny you if you want to build a culture by design. So that's it.
Okay, thank you so very much for your time.
Thank you so much. It was so nice to talk to you.
You too. Thank you.
You.
We'll talk to you soon.
All right,
Thanks, guys.
bye.